Welcome. My name is Idris Kamoga, and I am happy to have you once again. It is a new month of July. Actually, we almost 1 week away from July. It's becoming busy and busy and busy. As we all agreed, June, July, August, September, all the way into October and part November turns out to be a very busy season for everyone that is in the tourism business. Of course, with the exception of the very few, and we'll see what leads someone to be not in business around the busy months, right? And want to apologize that we're a bit late coming to you around this time. I think for those that have been following us very closely, you've been able to see and realize that we've not, done an open up for the month of June. Of course, it was because of too much operations going on. And July has started, and we said, no, at least we must put some time aside, 20, 30 minutes to come and share one or two things with you. So we want to combine the June month and probably part of this month, July. Today, at the 9th of July, so that we can put everything together for you. Of course, we will look through, the insights of both months. I will definitely dive into the action plan for this busy month, June. But remember, we had given you an insight of what you must be doing around the busy season. We kind of predicted that it's going to be too busy, too busy. We may take some time coming to you, but we're going to look at, a few activities that you must be getting hands on, around this time. But of course, we'll definitely have our learning curve, right? So it's good to be here to remind you about so many things, regarding your tourism business. That's the biggest thing. And we want to learn from everyone. And we've always invited, if you have something, you can put it in our comment section, and we will we will pick it up. We will take it up, and of course, we've got a team of experts that can review or can even give you a response to your comment, or and you can as well call us, speak to us. Our lines are open. You can talk to us, and we'll give you free guidance, on how you can start, run, manage, and grow your tourism business. Without any delay, of course, we want to start with the key trends. If you look at June and July, they are busy months, to be honest, and all our focus is on operation. Whoever is in tourism business, are you a tour operator, you're in hospitality, you own a lodge, hotel, any resort or something of that kind. This is when tourists or customers or guests come in big numbers. This is when we have so many last minute, taking on. In other words, business is at its peak. The demand is really high, right? So in terms of travel trade fairs, I remember in June, we had the Karibu Akili Fair. And for those that visited, we've always given you some advice that the biggest planning of the show is always pre-show, right? And post-show. So what happens on site usually takes less than 5 minutes or, and but the biggest planning should be, or preparation should be, how do you prepare before? I'm talking about for those that went to the Kili Karibu Fair as early as June, I think around 10th or something, you know. That happened, the Karibu show in Tanzania, Arusha. So, but what have you done after the Karibu Kili fair? That is also very important. And that ultimately keeps you in contact with your business potential partners, call them the agents, or, you know, people that you want to work with them. And we've always emphasized success can only be determined with key networkings that you make in business. You know, how do you build that relationship? So post show, you went, so you can do some evaluation. So right now may not be a good time for your evaluation in terms of business, but it can be a very good time to evaluate. Are you in touch? It's a month that has passed. Are you in touch with these people? You see, have you shared with them keynotes that you took down? Have you given them packages? Have you given them rates? That's very key, right? So how close are you with them? Are you on email? Are you on WhatsApp with them? So that's the big thing that you must be looking at. So, but literally, we are not going to talk about, you know, the trade show bit, but we're looking at what has transpired in the last, you know, since our last, you know, open up into um, a new month. So you see, of course, what is on now, everyone is busy. Everyone is extremely busy. On the East African region, I think Tanzanians are busy, you know, with safaris. Kenyans are busy with safaris. Here in Uganda, tourism is becoming busy. You see, Rwanda, it's also becoming crazy. So everyone is busy. So what do we need to focus on around this time as our action plan? See, key things that we are going to share with you in our action plan today will basically, you know, fit in this high season, and we want to effectively man our team. So this is when operations team must be checked. You see, the effectiveness. In other words, everyone is running up and down. Everyone is doing operations. The vehicles are all out. Drivers are all out. They are doing airport pickups. They are doing transfers, flying in safaris. So you must ensure that the operations desk is well equipped to assist you in all ways, right? And we also have to look at the response team. Who is handling the request? How many are they? Around this time, we also said we can do part-time hiring of staff if you can, because June, July, August, these are really busy months, and the only way you can tap into the, you know, the overflowing demand or request or something like that, you see, it is increasing on your team, and it must be as effective, you know. And we've seen you don't have to train around this time. That would be a big mistake because you don't have time literally to do that, you see. So it is time, one, to look at the operations team. Two is to look at the response team. Call them whoever is handling requests, whoever is responding to reservations for your hotel or anything. Do you have enough team to respond? Because I'm sure right now people must be doing a lot of cancellations, last minute bookings are chipping in, advance bookings that they made, and someone must be able to follow up all that stuff. So there's a lot of furry falling around, and you must be able to be guided. Also, we must look at quality assurance, you know, for the guests. You know, whenever you have something that is too much for you, you must have a quality assurance team. You know, if you're doing vehicle allocation, if you're doing driver allocation, has to come in the right, you know, in the right sense. People must be given exactly what they booked for, right? So look at quality assurance. Otherwise, don't simply offer a product. You see, because we want to be able to repeat business at the end. And if you remember well, we agreed and said success is also measured on customer satisfaction. That is very important. You see, so quality assurance, you know, is very important and should be around key things that you must be able to do. And the other key takeaway in our action plan, as we all look at, is asset acquisition. Remember, around this time, these are busy months, and cash flow is on a positive end. You see, there's a lot of money that you're probably, everyone is paying. Even last minute bookings, they are paying full. You see, so there is nothing like, partial payment, the demand is high. So everyone is, so I'm certain that your cash flow is really very nice. So this is when we look at asset acquisition, and we talked about how do you secure assets, for your company. This is part of growth strategy. I've always advised young people that one way to grow your business is to reinvest highly in it. You see, you can think about buying maybe more vehicles. These are assets for your company. And of course, they are going to be doing more business for your agency. You can think about buying land if you don't mind. Of course, at one point you'll definitely grow into, an independent office block that you can as well own as a company. Think of so many assets that you can acquire around this time when cash flow is on your side. During low season, it's very inconveniencing to make such huge purchases of assets because of cash flow deficits. You see, and I've always told you, if you want to grow in the tourism business, always observe your cash flow, right? So those are some of the key takeaway in our action plan, right? Because it's gonna be it's always busy and busy around this time. And of course, in our last thing session that we want to look at, as we are combining June and July, we want also to look at the learning curve. What are we learning from our today's session? And of course, we want to give you something interesting. And I have heard something from colleagues here and there. Someone telling you, actually, it's very evident that you're collapsing. You see, if you're able to watch the red flags. But majority of you cannot be able to do this. But we want to help you get to a point of how would you save your company from collapse? Or how would you, what we call, resolve such a situation? You see, and we want to talk about deeply what we call deeper reset. It's busy season, but you don't have business. It's busy season, you've done nothing. It's a busy season, and literally there is no sales to your company. So we want to guide you. And in our deeper reset that we want to talk about, that we want you to learn from, which is very key. And we have some key takeaways. You see, what do you need to do as part of your deeper reset? You can regrow in tourism. It's not yet done. You can regrow in tourism. And these are some of the key points that we want to share with you as you're planning to have a deeper reset. You know how your company used to perform, and you know that right now you are at the verge of collapse. Maybe you've forgotten some of the key things, right? And they are very important for your review. So we want to look at this scenario, one, by re-evaluating your business growth strategy. Where are you wrong now? You see, what are your company's strengths? What did you use to sell a lot that you actually diverged away from it? You see, so you must evaluate your company's strength. Do you have a team? Is it part of your strength? Or you lost that team? So if you want to regrow, you want to have a deeper reset, and you think your company is almost collapsing, these are things that you must undertake. And I'm serious, if you pick them on, of course, change will. So one is to review or re-understand what your business strengths are. And all of us have got business strength. You see, what are your key things that makes your agency outshines? Regardless how weak it looks now, but there must be strength. And if you can put them down and then amplify those strengths to your market, I'm sure you'll be able to regrow. And I want to say something again. Some of these things may look academic to you, not until you practice them, practically implement them. I always blame so many people that come for consultancy that the moment you talk about something and it's never implemented, this is when it turns out to be very academic. Now, let's move from that and let us have everything that we share with you put in practice. Put it in practice. Of course, there will be growth, right? That's the most important thing. Point two here is we need to map again our market target. I have told you that one key thing for starters of this tourism business, think about the market that you want to serve. Now, you've served that market, but you lost the sense of direction. You see, I've told you you cannot appeal to everyone. You sell to everyone. That is not right. Remap your market target. So when you remap your target market, it's going to help you. It comes with a lot of benefits. Of course, you optimize your resources towards that specific market. And so many things, right? So I want you to sit down with a mind that your company is almost collapsing, which is not right and which is not true. Can you remap it? Know who you want to target. Custom make your products to fit that market, right? And growth will be at your doorstep. The other thing is to redevelop your growth strategy. You know, how do you want to grow? Do it step by step. Do it step by step. Have an action plan. We've already told you an action plan simply gives you a sense of direction. Activity. The biggest problem is one may not know what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. And that is lack of growth strategy. Think about it. Draw a growth strategy. Look up to that growth strategy. Let it be your guider as you regrow what you call what has been a collapsing company. You see? And you can, within no time, as long as you can redefine that, you'll be able to grow. And the other point here we have is prioritizing your team. Now, a bigger problem here, you're collapsing because you're working alone. You don't have a team. Create a team. Train the team. You see, try to optimize the team you're working with towards your set company goals. It can't be a one-man show. Not at all. Prioritize that team. You know, ensure that they have the right equipments to use. Ensure they have the right training. Ensure that they have everything. And something I can tell you, if you have a good team that can have accuracy levels up, can have quality assurance up to naught, can have everything. And of course, they'll be on top of the table or top of the game. You see, that's what I mean by prioritizing your team. Many colleagues that have had a very close discussion, I realize you have no team. And that's a big mistake. That's a sign of collapse. Have a team. And the team will take you to the success path anyway. But these are some of the things that you must do in a deeper recess. Sorry, a deeper reset of your company so that you can be able to regain the strength, to regain your market position in your tourism business. And lastly is to largely focus on cash flow. Cash flow is a big thing. We've just highlighted some of the key advantages of cash flow, especially around the busy season, where you can have some asset acquisition around this time because of cash flow. Observing your cash flow is going to help you. And most of you are collapsing because you're unable to observe cash flow. Cash flow simply means how much is coming in and how do you regulate what is going out. See? So if you cannot do that, trust me, the next story we have is your collapse. But if you want to regrow as a deeper reset strategy, one, I am saying observe your cash flow. It's very important. You're not going to have debts. You don't have to be in deficits. You'll be able to pay suppliers in time. You see? So those are some of the key takeaways that I am able to share with you as part of deeper reset. For those that have a mind that, oh, I must be at the verge of collapse. And you can regain everything. It's not too late. I want to say it. It is not too late. Think about all these key strategies. Put them in practice and step forward. Of course, do not forget commitment. As you're working at all these 5 key takeaways in your deeper reset session or period, you must commit 100%. And commitment means allocate your business time. And I've always told you the biggest capital ever in the tourism industry or tourism business is time. If you cannot have enough time, then why are you sinking in a lot of money? You see? Because contrarily, you can have less money and more time and your business will grow. All right. Thank you so much for watching today's session. I want to thank you. It can be longer than the usual because we've combined June, July. Hopefully we're able to come here back to you in less or short period. Otherwise, it's a good time to harvest more and more sales around this time. June, July, August, September, and part October. Otherwise, I can't wait to see you in our next video. Do not forget to follow us on our social handles. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, and of course, on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for these and more learning tutorials. I want to say bye-bye and wait to see you in our next video. Bye-bye.